Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Company Wars 1 replay. Spawn on the north side as the Panzer Grenadier player with the camouflage ability, so he's gone for Luftwaffe ground forces. We have Wagwan spawned on the south side as the British forces. We have sblaowai333, and we do also have a handful of Kettengrads being deployed on out. Usually we see two Kettengrads versus British forces, but he's gone for three this time, looks like. Got the scope rifle squad going for this munitions point, so this guy's going to set up his HQ in this sector here.
We await your command.
And he's not doing the technique of going for Waggons and go for a whole bunch of incendiary traps. This one's going to be camouflaging forward. We'll spot the scope rifle squad, but the scope rifle squad will be able to spot it pretty early. It, of course, does reveal him what doctrine he's gone for. And does get and interrupts the capture there. Nice little bullying. And now the scope rifles are going to just pursue him. Nope. Falls back. Capture the. Going back to the capture point. Do get the lieutenant now deployed on the field. Third grad has been deployed out, and do have now another Panzer Grenadier. He may be trying to stall up for Luftwaffe ground forces or Fallschirmjägers. Maybe. He could go for like logistics company to 222s. Eventually. Well, let's find out. Trying to recapture this point again, and does get knocked around, and does get starting recaptures. Retain the capture. He's not doing a good job of getting interrupted, and it gets interrupted again. Though he does receive a lot of damage right there now, and does go and fall back. And thanks to camouflage, he's able to fall back quite easily. Brits level 15, so not the lowest, not the highest. Kind of grad camouflaging away. And these kind of grads are getting quite wounded. He may just want to keep these guys camouflaged to capture points and not go aggressive and risky anymore for this, especially this one. It can't take any more bullets. And he could potentially bully around the lieutenant. It would be risky to go for do that to the lieutenant as right now, but it could be a possibility. Intersection advancing forward. This fuel point has not been cleaned. The HQ command truck has backed on up and redeployed right there, actually. And it's still his primary sector. He actually is not in this munitions sector to get extra munitions. I would push a little bit farther forward just for that income. Kennegrad's doing a good job capturing the rest of the map. Does spot the current location of the HQ command truck. I'm not sure if he employed out here. Let's switch over to him. Another infantry section. So currently has 2 infantry sections. Soon to be a third. Scope rifle squad trying to get this cutoff point, and he will be successful. Panzer Grenadiers are going straight for the Panzer Jaeger command, as I theorize. He may be saving his saving his command points to bring out some Fallschirmjägers or the Luftwaffe ground forces to be his primary frontline infantry unit. And that's Panzer Grenadier probably could be upgraded to the G43, and that doesn't have to worry about STGs or Panda trucks. Oh, but he does pull out a second Panzer Grenadier. At this point, it will be recaptured by the Kettengrad. Kettengrad now receiving much needed repairs. Scope rifle squad throwing some rounds into it. Kettengrad will need to back down out of there. Almost down. Camouflage. Oh, and goes down. I think through a stray bullet. Panzer Grenadier should be able to win out. The sector's in supplies. Sectors are not in supplies, so his income is restored. HQ command truck has been redeployed in this sector here as well.
Infantry closing in on us.
And Panzer Grenadier should be a win out. Scope rifle squad has dropped 2 models, and these Panzer Grenadiers have not dropped a single model.
Listen up, you sorry lot.
Kettengrad camouflage around. This one's at full health. This one is, what's the opposite of full health? Nearly dead.
section in AOR.
We do have a 4th infantry section now being employed on out.
Troops ready,
Going
sir.
heavy in infantry. And definitely a little bit lower. Where you said definitely level 15, he is using the attach ability right there, which is usually not done by higher level players.
Good to go, sir.
Great damage on that 2-2, really good damage, probably thanks to the officer, and almost loses 2-2 to that bolt action rifle fire. He also got an STG squad here, so he has gotten 1 squad STGs, so he's not really saving up for units to engage like Elf-Ocean Jaegers, but he may go from Luftwaffe ground forces. You also have this Panzer command deploying out perhaps another 2-2. Yep, we'll see a second 2-2.
Ready to roll.
Panzer Grenadiers going to get annihilated if they stay around that region. Heavy's cover 1 could stick around just to stall out longer, but won't stall out for all too long. We do have Luftwaffe ground forces now on the field and getting some repair supports 2-2. Second 2-2 is going to be deploying on out.
Commonwealth forces are capturing a friendly sector.
Good damage there, trying to repair it up all combat. 2 2-2s are now firing their 2-0 cannons or 2-centimeter cannons. Okay, I'm trying to stop with the 2-2s. Luftwaffe ground forces are not repairing up the 2-2 all too well. Intersections do, however, fall back. They do not get the cutoff point. We now have a Panzer support command being deployed now. He may be eyeing towards Panthers. I don't think he's going to go for a Panzer IV C as much as like the C1. Likely infantry support, infantry support truck now being deployed on out. You may want to lock down this fuel sector with it and get out some other fuel-based assets. Doesn't have to be a Stewart, doesn't have to be the armor command truck, but something. This 2-2 has been fully repaired. This 2-2 is advancing forward. And this Category does get spotted, does receive some penetrating bullets. Trying to focus down these 2-2s now, and does do a full retreat. No casualty clearing station for healing. He does need one of them. Category receiving a bit of fire there. 2-2 may coming to support the Category.
Germans have penetrated the lines. They are trying to take a sector.
Do now have a fresh light half track.
Germans are seizing territory
Interesting.
from us.
Maybe a little bit too early for that. Oh, what's else being employed out here? The Panzer Support Command. Casualty clearance station being employed out next to the field support truck. Okay, that's interesting.
We must protect our
These
munitions.
dudes are starting to advance forward. Maybe eyeing some autocannon fire onto the headquarters command truck. Not sticking around to get healed up either, so I'm not sure why it got deployed right there and not over here. Does get some damage there onto the 2-2, but does avoid most of the fire, including the Piet. Scope rifle squad does get some heavy cover there.
Support command
structure hasn't been upgraded. I always hated the fact that the Panzer Support Command has the Martyr symbol, while the Panzer Jaeger Command has the Panzer IV symbol. I just hate how these symbols are backwards. He gets to find some shots there on the armor car.
Reporting task complete. Moving on.
Looks like now getting queued up by the field support truck. Over here, we do have the victory point being decaptured by the Kaliningrad. And now the sap's going to be reclaiming it.
Ready for mission order.
Katagrad here in a good spawning position. I always do love the self Katagrads. It's one of the most powerful doctrinal abilities for the Panzer Elite, I would say. And it's one you don't need to spend a single command point on.
Kampfgruppe Leer is now able to enjoy the benefits of our Jaeger command upgrade.
Got Panzer Support Command, Panzer Jäger Command, and likely he'll get the Kampfgruppe, the Panzerschreck Tank Buster upgrade in order to get out Panthers.
Achtung! Enemy forces are attacking our petrol depot.
Capturing some points here. We do got the 2-2s rotating around. And now we have the activated command, Panther Command battle group. PS do find a hit there on the 2-2. The other PS does find a hit as well.
Forward
These
supply
2-2s will
lines
need
are
to fall
broken.
on back. And now the 2-2s will go and blitz away, try to get some much needed repairs. We know what doctrine the Panzer Elite player has gone for, but we don't know what doctrine the British player has selected just yet. Another sapper? Okay, that's a little bit too many sappers, and a bit of wire there by the Luftwaffe ground forces. Let's find the captain there, throw some bullets onto him.
Victory location
We
is
also
under
got the
attack.
Kettengrad decapturing the VP, very nice. And the British are just building up a line of forces.
Sapper troops ready for action.
As of right now, I'm not sure what doctrine the British players should go for. Royal Artillery? Possible. Probably just more maybe not Royal Artillery. The officer doesn't really have the missions right now for the officer artillery, and that's basically the only thing he's going to get usage out of it. Royal Engineers? He could make it get usage of the increased income from sectors. Churchills are not very well used, so it's hard to say about that. And there goes the Kettengrad.
NCOs reporting they have
Hold down
destroyed
could
a
be quite
German
reasonable.
target.
We just only need to secure this sector here, so hold down could be reasonable. Commandos, probably not. He does not need more manpower based units. Like that's just too many squads. He has 3 sapper Piets, 4 infantry sections. That's just way too many squads. Definitely not commandos. He doesn't need any commandos, and the 25-pounder ability can be replaced by Royal Artillery, and priests will be much more useful than commandos. So I think I'm sort of leaning towards Royal Engineers at this point in time. And so far, it's just not a whole lot much going on. We got the Panthers pushing way forward. We got these 2-2s back here, and now we got the self-Kettengrad does spot this force. At this point in time, Panzer IV C would not be half bad. Well, Panzer IV C and just start shooting everything that advances around this hedge. He knows his opponent's HQ command truck's right there, so the chance of him bunching up going around this corner is quite likely.
Squad awaiting orders.
Granted, he may not have Panzer IV Cs available. He may have Hotchkiss, which wouldn't be half bad either. Or short-range barrages would be quite accurate, and he doesn't need much accuracy to hit this blob. Peter Kenny Bunton, we got now 2-2s now skirmishing around the back line, and all these forces falling on back.
German forces are trying to overrun one of our sectors.
Let's receive some more shots there from the Panthers. Good support trucks now seeing some fire there. Very nice. Damage and a crit as well. He is now hitting the Panther. Dude's advancing forward, trying to get some good damage on these forces. Does have to score the captain for the damage resistance in that sector. They now have the armor support command truck. The twos are starting to blitz on forward. Does get the accuracy vectors in this one. That's probably a good idea because this Panther's doing a good job drawing fire. right now, there's no manpower bleed for the Panzer. Well, there's going to be a lot of manpower bleed for the Brits. He did a good job with the stealth categories with the capture, decapturing the capture game. At this one time, he probably really wishes he had a Hummel. When the medics do get gunned down, do now have a 17 pounder being employed now. He does have enough manpower to support it at the moment. A light abstract has been deployed on out. We saw that deployed out a long time ago, actually. Huh, what's that? Incendiary grenades? Oh, Kettengrad. Oh, he lost all of his Kettengrads. Do they now have a fresh Kettengrad? He's not gone for artillery. I don't see any boards here. Does find a bounce there on the 17 on the Panther. Panzer Grenadiers now receive some fire. Yes, do we actually get some great splash damage there? Another squad of sappers? Why? Hopefully those are repair sappers to get overheals a lot of the structures, such as that 17 pounder.
Look sharp. Section. Look
His
sharp.
forces are to make their way forward. Oh, I heard a 17 pounder shot. Does get a hit there onto that mortar half track. Mortar half track does even miss there. All these hedges have been ran over. Infantry sort of moving slowly when they have a support nearby lieutenant, so needs to pass on a regular move order to recognize that they can move quickly. Scope rifle squad to capture the central VP. Panthers 2-2. Mortar half track is severely wounded. P is trying to charge it forward. STG squad is trying to find a good flank there. Gets good damage there. There's actually some pair of some rifle grenades. Sapper squad gets annihilated. That may have been the... Well, that was one of the P sappers. He does have a repair sapper now. STG squads do fall back. Good auto cannon fire in this region. Panther's advancing forward. Does get some hits there onto the Panther. This point was recaptured, but it will be quickly decaptured, no problem. Medic charging on forward. Medic is grabbing casualty. Nope, never mind. And it looks like he does throw around his kinetic grab that 2-2. And the casualty has expired. Oop!
NCO reporting they have destroyed a German target.
Ouch. He just... I swear, 2-2s are pretty good at friendly fire damage.
Group ready.
I saw the first round, and then noticed he was reloading. It's like, oh yeah, they sure to do anything more than that. Nope. The medic claimed a kill, sort of. You gotta overheal onto this 17 pounder. You also have now the mortar half track raining some mortars in somewhere. And the mortar half track still has an engine crit there, and now it has no engine or anything else. Scope rifle squad advancing forward. Looks like the smoke grenade was thrown out by the rifle grenadier. Arcus does go down. STG's advancing forward. Does have the 4-man squad upgrade. Very nice. Scope rifle squad trying to avoid the STGs. Both off ground forces decapturing the central VP. Got the officers still in this region, supporting these various forces. We're gonna go for a slit trench here. As we pause construction, 2-2 still firing away. A lot of manpower bleed on these Brits. Rifle grenade does get a decent hit on the local off-ground forces, but the STGs are still very healthy. Slit trench does go down now.
AT gun ready.
Oh, let's go ahead and fast forward a little bit. This is a game of a lot of standstills. Both sides reinforcing, has been healed and reinforced, pushes the way forward. Each section has been reformed, so it does get a fresh Tommy. Now he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squads of Tommies. Not a lot of munitions at the moment. Still no doctrine selected, or at least not one we can see. And his opponent does have a Wagwan available. The Wagwan would not be half bad at this moment. So as both 2 still alive, both Panthers still alive, mortar half-track rebuilt. STG squad's pushing way forward, but getting ripped apart. This STG squad is getting good damage on these forces. They do also have an incendiary effect there.
Ready to respond.
As reinforced, the Slit Trench is still garrisoned.
Munitions point has been captured.
Garrison of our infantry section, 3 models.
Ready for action. Got our hands ready to move.
Does use heroic charge right there. Maybe a little bit too early for the heroic charge. Mortar half track does get buttoned, and it looks like the P8 squads are getting annihilated. Another P8 squad advances forward, trying to get the kill there on the mortar half track. Engine crit there, and the mortar half track does go down. Trying to capture the central VP, but Sapper squad needs to fall back. Does do a full retreat now. And this is not going anywhere for the Brits. Sure, he picked up the mortar half track, but he's not going to get the VP captured on up. The Panzer player may need to get incendiary grenades to deal with the Slit Trench. A couple medics charging on forward as well. And Kaliningrad goes down as well. Medics looks like not getting hit there. One of the STG models do go down. Good damage there by the rifle grenades. Firing some grenades over the hedge. You'll also see putting rifle grenades inside that Slit Trench is not a half bad placement.
Sapper unit ready.
For a bit of a standstill as well. Rifle grenades looks like smoke grenades. Very nice. Pushing forward once again. We'll receive a lot of abuse. The stag count has been completed. Maybe we're trying to go for now some fireflies. And we do have a flak 88 to put down the field. Interesting. Flak 88 is not going to be very useful this moment. You could go for a forward HQ here to get some good healing onto this flak 88 as well. Stag count's been upgraded to 50 cal. Good hit there by the rifle grenade. And now the stag count's receiving flak 88 hits. You may receive another hit soon. Destroyed engine crit. Now it's going to try to slowly back on the way. He may get behind the line of sight blocker. Yep, that was another round to the infantry unit, so he does save the stag count for now. Panthers firing away. We do have another STG squad advance forward. 2-2s. Both of them efficiency 2. Getting some good damage. So the 2-2s are at bet 2. Firing their 2 centimeters. Okay, that's enough of the 2s.
COs have what they need to call in artillery.
Another lieutenant being employed on the field. I suppose the extra lieutenants wouldn't hurt.
Unknown number of enemy are moving on one of our victory points.
He could actually set up a Slit Trench here, throw his lieutenants inside the Slit Trench in order to inspire the nearby troops while keeping relatively safe. Because it's not going very far forward. He doesn't need his lieutenants to go with them all too far. These good hits there. Oh, here can grab his camouflage.
Secured sector under
Ah,
attack.
wait, the flak 88 can bounce off a field support truck? How's that even possible?
We have a secured sector under attack.
Oh, the stealth Kenningrad's doing some great spotting for the flak 88. And I see... Okay, no more additional support weapons. STG Cross Squad trying to interrupt the Skullcraft Squad, and lots of PS raining on in. Let's go and sneak grenade into that slit trench, and he does get inside the slit trench.
Loud and clear.
You have now a casualty clearance station trying to go for healing for that slit trench he just built out. And I think it may be close enough to get that slit trench healed up as well.
Go ahead.
Field support truck is being under siege.
Jerry's hitting
You have
one
some
of our
butterfly
forward
bombs,
sectors.
just trying to protect the flank. Very nice. Lots of hits inside those slit trenches. Casualty clearance station has been completed. He has plenty of munitions at the moment as well. Another incendiary grenade here. He could try out healing it with the casualty clearance station. Just going back out of the slit trench, gets inside again with the scope rifle grenades.
Secured sector under attack.
SCG squads phase 4 does get a nice flinch there from that rifle grenade. PS2 find a hit as well. There's two pre-hit squads in the back of the slit trench. And does receive a incendiary grenade as well. Casualty clearance station is healing up that squad. It won't really... Okay, the casualty clearance station's healing has worn off, so now they're getting burned alive. Field support truck getting repaired up while in combat. The repair squad can repair up quite quickly, but won't be about out damaged flak 88, I believe.
German forces are trying to overrun one of our
He
sectors.
will go down, given it enough time. In rounds.
We have a secured
Oh,
sector
but if
under
it
attack.
bounces like that, that does save him from going down. The other Pete squad can try to help out repairing it.
Our field support command post has been destroyed.
Field support truck has gone down, so does the slit trench. That's just a flare for those butterfly bombs. Field squad receiving some hits there, trying to go from the slit trench. 52 should rip those guys apart. Both Panthers and Adventure C2 as well, so has access to those pinto mounts.
Both battalions just received
Looks like now
access to
17 pounder.
self-propelled artillery.
17 pounder is now receiving fire from that flak 88. You now have a fresh priest out in the field.
NCOs reporting they have destroyed a German target.
Frag grenades do coming down, get some good damage there on those STG squads. And is that another butterfly bomb? Butterfly bombs being called in right there. That's not a good idea. They'll get most of it all destroyed by all the guns. And they've got some officer artillery raining on in there. I'm not sure what it destroyed, if it got anything. Oh no, that's a creeping barrage. It's a mine. Okay, that's just some butterfly bombs detonating. And it looks like the flak and the creeping barrage looks like missed the flak 88. You really should have focused that down though, creeping barrage. Does find a whole bunch of S mines, or not S mines, butterfly bombs. Pretty much the same difference when this comes to this game. Over here, looks like the repair sapper does get forced in the back. And the priest is behind the cover of that. Oh. He's going to bring the Henschel strafing support onto that Hummel. Let's switch over here. See the duration of the Henschel. The HS-129B3. Trying to get some more shots onto that self-priest. And the 50 cal can also fire. But now this kind of guy's doing great spotting there. Gets a direct hit there on the priest. Section here getting quite wounded. One down to one member. Of course, got a lot of medics in this region, so he has two casualty clearing stations. That's a lot of medics to pick up these casualties. When you get to two medic stations, any sort of two casualty recovery stations, you get a lot of casualties to cover. It's easy to stop one, it's not that easy to stop two. Forcing pushing way forward, looks like the priest may have got gunned down. Nope, the priest just repositioned, almost being destroyed. Main gun destroyed at least. Incendiary mortar does come forward as well. Do have the drop Piet as well. Looks like the priest is going to be receiving some much needed repairs. Stealth cannon grad could push his way forward. Is that still stealth? Yes, it is.
Ready to execute orders.
We must injure the enemy and reduce his 300 points.
That term, like, we must injure your enemy when you're actually counting down your opponent, seems like it sounds like more of a line that you will say when you're losing or your own ticket's dropping down. We must injure our enemy, rather than that's one where your opponent is counting down. Priest now firing. Creeping barrage. Looks like the mortar half track does receive a bit of abuse. A lot of abuse. He couldn't take it. Some more of the S-mines getting detonated, but looks like the Black Kitty will not be hit by the creeping barrage. May get splashed a little bit. Oh, no, does receive a good hit there. Does get it decrewed, but not fully destroyed.
Heavy Panzer.
Infantry start makes its way forward, has a lot of infantry sections. The Panzer player doesn't have a whole lot of manpower at the moment.
We are losing territory.
STG squads could try interrupting some of these squads. Just getting some great damage on in. And it looks like I got a good hit there on some of the infantry forces, knocking him around a bit. Does stop the capture there. STG's now firing at close range against these random squads. Does fall back on those Panzer Grenadiers. Both of them do fall back. And looks like the priest is now coming for a barrage in this general location. Black Age is only decrewed. He doesn't really need to recapture at this moment. There's nothing really for him to really engage. Stealth Kettenkrad has made his way down south. Could go ahead and try advancing forward into this region to perhaps bring in some more Henschels. The Henschels do cost 200 munitions. Looks like it's a relatively fresh squad. He does actually have a forward HQ here as well. Capturing clearance station now under fire. Ooh, seems like a really juicy time for a crush. Let's take out the casualty clearance station there. Auto cannons getting some good damage on these forces.
Squad ready to move on. Target captured.
Where's that barrage? There they are. More creeping barrage in this region, sounds like. Looks like the Panzer Grenadiers receiving a bit of fire. Do got a British landmine there. Intersections advancing forward, or Panzer Grenadiers advancing forward, trying to get some good damage here. SCGs getting some great damage there. Panzer Grenadiers do falling back. This Panzer Grenadiers trying to get some good hits there onto these increased sections. Panzer Grenadier squad does fall back. We do now have the Panther firing away, getting some good damage. Landmine detonation there onto 2-2. As the Rimar is exposed. It looks like going to try to back away, but this one will likely go down. And we do have some more butterfly bombs going on down, though, and these ones will land and may get detonated a couple of them. But of course, got the scope rifles here to spot them. Panther firing away, getting some good damage onto these forces. Panther's pushing way forward. We do have this Panther engaging the intersection at close range. This Panther is trying to whittle down these forces. He does force them back. I just saw your messages there. Yeah, not really. mood for covering the Computer's 1 Blitz mod at the moment. Let's see. Yep. Can you do that? Or is that a mod to put native languages? I always sort of forget. Looks like that. I hear a Bren gun. Looks like it may be hitting Sketingrad. Yeah, the Sketingrad getting hit by the base MG. And decapture this munitions point. Scope Rifle Squad trying to stop the Sketingrad. Currently, it's not capturing it up at the moment. And now we've got anti-tank grenades. I don't know if the anti-tank grenades will be very useful unless to get his forces to hit that priest. He does have enough munitions for the Henschel strafing support, so if the Sketingrad pushes forward again, he's able to call that in. His forces are advancing forward, trying to get some good damage in. Ah, Mod DV, got it.
Ready for orders.
More butterfly bombs, but they're not an offensive tool. They're purely defensive. So I think almost every single of those butterfly bombs got obliterated. SG's advancing forward. They do go ahead and get force on back. And now we've got Zeal available. His force is still getting whittled away from the Panthers. Panthers at 22 infantry kills. The other one has a 31. Sketingrad does get spotted there. He could He could try going around. Oh, it would be hard to go around this way. Luckily, he doesn't have to worry about hitting landmines because the Sketingrad spots landmines. So he could perhaps camouflage forward, come around, and then park right there to bring in the Henschel strafing support. I'll take a look at that mod. Panthers advancing forward. Almost like I had this 70-pounder selected when switching players, so now there's a permanent reticle. 25-pounder raining on in. It's creeping barrage to the base, which won't really accomplish all too much because he can just repair it up time and he's just spending a lot of munitions. The Brit still has a lot of command points. He could perhaps go down his other line. Start pushing way forward. This infantry got a lot of SDG squads here. Could try advancing forward. Some unupgraded intersection as well. The second city grenade was thrown. Another city grenade was thrown as well, softening up his opponent. Very nice. The VP is still claimed by the Panzer lead player. And it looks like the Sketingrad does get spotted as well. Does manage to camouflage away. Scope Rifle Squad should be easily spotted, however. SCG's advancing forward. 2-2 advancing as well. And it's got a... Oh, he did actually keep alive the other 2-2. That one that hit the landmine. Interesting. Sketingrad's still in this region. Medics falling on back. And that will... Let's see... I think that would be enough to get another Tommy. Ooh, great hit there. One of those Sketingrads do go down. Do have these Panthers advancing forward. Good damage there. Does get his fresh intersection. These forces just charging on forward. These will have trouble versus the Bet 3 defense Panther. And these forces still just getting whittled away by these Panthers. Of course, got the priest here to find some autocannon fire onto that HQ command truck. Lieutenant Colonel Exhausted does find some more butterfly bombs. Its other Panthers here now throwing some rounds. Looks like this intersection does wipe it out. 2-2 is advancing forward. Does get some good damage there. And this force is getting crowd and whittled down. Fresh Sherman Firefly, that would be useful. Sketingrad has made his way over here. He has plenty of population space, so getting the points to capture won't really accomplish all too much. And now we do have this intersection squad does follow back. Got these forces advance forward. He's probably no, he has plenty of manpower for reinforcing, so I'm not sure why he hasn't reinforced all these guys. Not like these bolt action rifles could do much versus Panthers.
Tell us what you want.
This entire hedge line is now completely gone. For better or for worse. Let's find some of these butterfly bombs there.
Target destroyed.
And this Katagrad may have been spotted for a brief moment. No, he's just heading to this casualty clearing station for healing. Or maybe not. I have no idea.
Ready for a fire solution.
Switch back to the Panzer Elite player. Let's see what munitions he has. And show straightforward. He has plenty of munitions for it.
We took some
Black
hits,
88 now receiving
but we're
a bit of
still
fire. The gun itself is almost down. And is out of radius of the forward healing of this HQ.
Paratroopers ready for orders.
These forces are making their way forward. We do have a fresh squad of Jaegers.
We are losing ammunitions depot.
Still getting Grad in this region, almost down. Intersections, however, we're seeing a lot of fire. That 3 Lieutenant region, and there goes, or Captain, and there goes that Grad. I think some random widespread bullets may have took it out. Just advancing forward. All the Panzer are falling back. 2-2s are just trying to get some various damage on in. We at least have looks like 1 hit in this region. Could have been the Firefly that was hitting. And these HQs have not been repaired, but they're not really very damaged from that creeping barrage, so it's not really that important.
Receiving enemy fire. Comm system in order.
Put it there onto the Firefly.
Research has granted us the ability to perform advanced repair.
Sprint and advanced repair are now available. A lot of these Panzer upgrades are being researched. Not sure what the Flak 88's firing against. Just infantry, I believe. Upgrades coming for a barrage on top of that Flak 88 now.
Standing by.
Rolls a wide miss, and we do have the sprint ability now being activated. I think they're trying to sprint away from the artillery barrage. Gun will almost go down. One near splash will take it out. Like that.
Regular rate.
Panzer advancing forward. One Panzer squad does fall back. 2-2s advancing forward. Firefly does roll a miss there. Panzer and Jaegers still have plenty of health. One of them is now getting a little bit hit. Firefly does get a hit there onto these confused. They do fall back in time. Do you have defense veterancy onto these Panzer Grenadiers?
They're shooting at us.
Heavy Panzer report.
Slit trench going on down. Multiple slit trenches. You could try to keep them all in the same sector so the captain can improve the defense even more. I suppose against the side of slit trench you don't really need more improved defense.
With only 100 points, the enemy must know he is doomed.
I'll fast forward a little bit. It's a bit of a quiet time. Both sides just trying to bash their heads against each other. More butterfly bombs. This one may get partially gunned down a little bit. A good number of them got gunned down. Now the Panzer Grenadiers are advancing forward. Gets good damage there. We may see some incendiary grenades.
Contact.
And looks like these forces do fall back. See a bit too much damage. Going to soft retreat to this HQ. Firefly is now focusing on some of these Panthers. The Veteran C3 defense will pay out in the long run, though. smoke grenades. Very nice. Oh, we also got a vampire funk Wagwan here. No, deny that munitions income. Rocket grenades firing away. Looks like the priest barrage will ran a little bit short. Rocket grenades trying to push its way forward to capture the VP. Panzer Grenadiers advancing forward with STGs. Not really all too well. They're sort of just dancing around a little bit. They probably could have gone nice and close to that rifle grenade. A couple incendiary grenades into that slit trench. Very nice. Here's our VP has been claimed by the Brit. You now have a casualty claim station being employed on out. You got a funk Wagwan here. But yeah, I still mentioned that beforehand. Fireflies taking some pot shots at the Panther. We do have the Panzer Grenadier and the Bolshevik advance forward. Bolshevik has gone for veterans accuracy, while the SCG squad has gone for defense. Panther struggles to make his way forward. The Bolshevik does have access to Panzer Pals, and I know he has AT grenades as well. You got a nice officer artillery there, dissuading the Bolshevik to be there. Right now, the Panzer elite munitions income is 64. His opponents are currently just at 33. Maybe not realizing the fact that there is no munitions income from this point.
The initiative is ours.
Or a
Victory
lot
countdown
less,
started.
at least. Because right here, there's 10, that's 20. And over here is supposedly a plus 33, but that's clearly not the case because it is his total munitions income. So yeah, it looks like he's only getting plus 13 here. You now have a fresh infantry support truck. He does not. He already does have a single sapper here for repairs. You could actually deploy that on this sector here to get some more munitions income. That may be a good idea. He has plenty of fuel for the rest of the game. Rifle Grenadier does fall back. Firefly is taking some shots on these Panzer Grenadiers. Looks like this Panther has received some shots. We do got another incendiary grenade onto the split trench. Does use the healing ability there. Looks like it's going to take time and tank it with that healing ability.
New vehicle has been knocked. Short sector under attack.
Oh, looks like Kettingrat does get spotted. It does go down. I heard new vehicles been taken out. Maybe it was a... I'm not sure what actually did get taken out for the Brit. It's just the voice line for taking out the Kettingrat. Flak 88 is now firing away. Flak 88's in the radius of the forward HQ now. Panther's seeing some fire.
Crew, stand by for orders.
Artillery barrage onto the Flak 88. Huh, I don't see any healing radius around it. Maybe it's already at full health and it just only lost a single model. That may what's happened. Intersection now seeing a bit of fire there from the 222s. Intersection does get forced back, does reform another intersection squad, so now he's at 6. Jeez, that's a bit too much. His population's can't really handle all that much. Rifle grenades raining on in. Does have a lieutenant in this region as well.
Enemy contact!
It's going to just fast forward a little bit. A little bit campy at the moment. And he's advancing forward. Does receive some fire there from the Fireflies. Pete's advancing forward, but they're behind some cover. The Luftwaffe Ground Forces does dodge those shots there. Let's see the Panzer League player has plenty of munitions for the Henschel strafing supports. Over here, do have the intersection captured at this point. Panzer Grenadiers advancing forward as well. Does get some decent damage there onto the infantry section. May see Incendiary Grenade there. Not yet. Black 88 has been decrewed, and now the forward HQ is getting severely wounded. Over here, Panthers have been nearly fully repaired. This 222 has received damage in the crit. New mortar half track, that's a good idea. Help burn out these trenches with the incendiary mortars. Grenadiers pushing way forward, has all the Panzer Grenadier squads do fall back, and now the Panzer Grenadier and the Bolshevik Grenadiers falls back as well. Not many losses there for the Panzer Grenadiers, and now here comes a Hedgehog strafing support. Panthers advancing forward as well, does hit out one of those fireflies. He's good damage there, does nice to pull back potentially. Nope, he's pushing forward, one falls back the other. Got some more damage there onto these vehicles in the Henschel.
We are losing a sector.
But it's there onto the priest, and with that pinto mount there, he can actually reveal himself by shooting up those aircraft. Priest, Panthers falling him back. Trying to avoid that additional Piet fire. We do also have this Kettengrad in this region now. We do switch way forward, gain some good autocannon fire onto that scope rifle squad. He does have a good reserve of munitions as well, so he's able to call in plenty of potential strafing supports to help crack the British vehicles. We do this fancy forward, we got the engineer right there, and we also have the Panzer Grenadiers receiving quite a bit of fire. We have a mortar hitting that split trench, but needs to be incendiary mortars. Incendiary grenade just comes forward there. And it looks like that 25-pounder is still engaged in that region. The priest anyways, which is a 105, not a 25-pounder. Sexton's has a 25-pounder. Over here, we got the section squad does fall back. Rifle grenades firing away. Mortar not getting good hits on the split trench because it needs to be incendiary mortars. There's the incendiary mortar, and it looks like a largely missed. Also got the casualty clearing station healing up these forces while at it. We also got a scout car, 223, getting some more munitions income. Another Henschel strafing support here, trying to hit these fireflies. Or firefly.
The enemy
And does go ahead and lose that. Looks like a mortar half track time. Munitions half track here as well.
destroyed an enemy unit.
Good damage there onto those forces. And there's actually a couple trenches he could actually claim. He actually should charge forward, claim some of these trenches, because it's hard to clear out those trenches. Although it's those rifle grenades from the, well, he got actually a decent hit there. I'm not sure how it got such that great of a hit. Bolshevik squad does fall back. And the center VP has been cleaned by the Panzer League player. New mortar half track has been deployed on out.
We are losing a sector to the Commonwealth.
Order ready for a combat mission.
Greece firing a barrage somewhere. Not sure where though. Actually he's trying to barrage the base. This 4 HQ is still up and going, so get that healed, reinforced, and perhaps grab the gun Flak 88 as well. Wagwan still camouflage, haven't deployed out any Goliaths just yet. Mortar half track has the support of the munitions half track now. And do now have another incendiary mortar effect here. Trying to out heal the damage. Or target destroyed. Did he just get some kill there? Not sure what though. Let's switch over to the Brit. Oh, there's another incendiary mortar there. He's going to start pouring in the incendiary mortars there with that munitions abstract in the region. Fortunately, makes advancing forward. Got plenty of XTG squads charging on in. That is not a built trench. Incendiary mortar or incendiary grenades now being thrown in all these slit trenches there, trying to burn these guys out even more. He has plenty of munitions to try to burn them out. Got self-catching ground in this region. Could perhaps call another Hensel strafing sport over here. And if they're going to just play like tug of war over this VP, he could play out Panzer Force C, hold it down, and put holes in everything that advanced towards that VP. Motor half track now seeing a bit of fire. Does get buttoned. Motor half track is seeing some fire. Does get some defense efficiency. He does need some repairs as well. And now 25 pounder barrage is raining on in. All these forces just need repairs. He has plenty of VPs to trade time for repairs and resources. Fresh Scout's car has been deployed on out. And now to have the 223 upgrade being deployed. To have these two Panthers deployed on the field. And now got the SCG squads advancing forward as well. Yeah, I've sort of lost passion playing Company Heroes 2 myself. I have my own mod. I sort of just got burnt out on Company Heroes 2 entirely. Brand Squad does receive a bit of fire there. Do have the Split Trench Piets firing away, trying to dissuade these Panthers. We got the Henschel Strafe from Port raining on in, trying to get some good damage. Does get some good damage into those priests. Trying to reposition the priests now. May receive another strafe run. Kind of push way forward. Does receive some more hits there. Just hitting the various structures here. Kettengrad is still not revealed. Do now have the priest moving around over here. Actually, does see some more damage there. Destroyed engine and main gun destroyed crit, so it's basically fully paralyzed. Well, not fully paralyzed. Still can creep away, but here comes another run and takes out the priest now. Panzer grenades advance forward. There's some slit trenches of which these Panzer grenades can claim. More incendiary grenades. This intersection does ban that trench. Could see some more slit trench. Okay, does try to play around these trenches a little bit more, but he's just going to be slowly whittled away. Fortune makes advance forward. Ooh, there goes that Panzer Grenadier squad. More artillery raining on in. Do have a fresh priest here. That's what blew up that Panzer Grenadier squad. How much manpower? Okay, both players are pretty low in manpower. Still has not gotten all the rest of his command points. Colonies, go ahead and load up inside that slit trench. We do have these Panthers firing away. SCG squad advancing forward. And now we do have something we called in, some sort of officer artillery. I think that's the vector target, isn't it? Kettengrad taking time to decapture this point. That is actually very important to lead off his opponent's max population.
Ready the vehicle for move.
That driver really must not like that gun firing in his face. Down south, we've got the 2-2 running over some wire. Kettengrad has captured that point, and maybe just want to go over here to this munitions point now. The 2 is going to try to camp this point here. 9's point, that max population.
Go on, sir.
More rounds running on in. DP not being captured on up. splashed down some of his own intersections there. They got some more artillery raining on in now.
Forward supply lines are broken.
Engaging more and more of these MGs. In fact, allowing these casualties to be claimed is actually a good idea for the Panzer player, because his opponent, he's doing a good job denying population cap against his opponent. So getting his opponent to get more infantry sections will deny more population room. Big brain plays. Ultra Megas advancing forward.
Contact report. Enemy vehicle.
Incendiary mortars raining on in. We do now have 2 mortar half tracks here, just trying to pump in a lot of incendiary mortars. The Brit is low on munitions now. This Funk Wagwan is doing a great job of denying all of this munitions income. Over here, the Panzer player is plenty of munitions income, but he has spent a lot of munitions there trying to burn out these trenches. He does wipe out another squad there. These trenches start being whittled down. He's going to lose that PS squad, which is very important because he needs to retain that anti-tank. He's out that slip trench there. It does capture the central BP now.
Excellent job, squad. Sir, we have a new half-track ready for combat.
The light TF track is an interesting option. He must really want to deal with this Firefly, but it's not really critical. More mortars raining on in. Got some more artillery barrage in this mortar half track, so one of them do go down. Next round coming on in. Sappers advancing forward. We got the Volkswagen Jaegers advancing. Needs to focus down that sapper. Incendiary mortar does come forward. Or was that an incendiary grenade? I think that's an incendiary mortar. Does go out the trench there. Fire does take out that mortar half track there. Firefly does fully go down. Panther, he still has both his Panthers alive. VP has been protected. 52 is advancing forward, trying to deal with some more advancing infantry. Kanagrad camouflaging his way forward. Almost gets annihilated by his own Flak 88. He's making sure that intersection does not capture the point, so pulling around the point with his Panther to south the capture would be a good idea. Right now, he just wants to bleed out his opponent's VPs.
Germany is conceding a second one to the Commonwealth. We must rally.
So the squad's trying to capture that point. They do get the decapture at least. Panther's getting some good damage on in there. Intersection is trying to lay down some more split trenches. And we're seeing quite a bit of damage right there. Trying to recapture the point. Does take out that slit trench there. Staghound does poke his way forward. The squad here inside these trenches are getting quite wounded. We could see some incendiary mortars here. Stealth kind of Graticus pushes his way forward, try to get some good hits there on another Henschel streaking sport onto the priest. Incendiary mortars getting some great damage right here. Of course, one of those squads out. More incendiary mortars raining on in, burning these trenches and everything inside. Though he may just need to get rid of the casual clearing station, but the Brit does not have a lot of munitions. 50 cal now firing away against that Grad. All he needs to do is to capture the point and deny the population cap. Now it's safe to withdraw. Incendiary mortar raining on in on this trench. Yeah, the Brit does not have a lot of munitions. He's spending it all onto the healing from this casualty clearing station, hasn't he? And it's advancing forward, trying to get that captain. Just ignore the captain, go straight for the HQ command truck. Staghound does go down. Incendiary mortars trying to burn these squads. And the Kettengrad may have gone down as well.
Our lines there. Jerry's attempting to secure one of our sectors.
His forces are pushing way forward, trying to get some good damage there on the slit trench. Look inside this slit trench here. There we go. That's exactly what the Panzer player would like to see. STGs inside of a slit trench. That thing's not going to go anywhere anytime soon, unless it burns out its own squad. No, actually, it's cool. Yeah, the friendly fire damage is a little bit high. Just worry about that squad entirely. The medics charging forward, trying to pick up those casualties. Looks like the medics being burned alive as well. If this is capturing the favor of the Panzer player, the British players start losing a lot of forces, and I think the British player maybe finally cracked. Not really cracked, just whittled down. He still has a core right here that his opponent has not been able to advance into. Black 88 could be recruited and hit that infantry support truck that may be in range, maybe just out of range though, by the Flak 88. Now that's the trench exposed, he perhaps could get a guy inside of it. The Brit has a bit of reserve of manpower, a bit of reserve of fuel of course. At this point in time, you have infinite fuel. Is now firing away, trying to get some good damage there onto that infantry section. And doesn't annihilate that squad entirely. Panthers, how many kills do these Panthers have? 53 and 35. Considering more in that slit trench there. And now the VPs are counting down against the Brit quite quickly, and it looks like there's no way it's going to get this point recaptured in time. Another incendiary mortar or incendiary grenade there. And this SDG squad inside the slit trench will be able to gun down anything that advances to that VP. We got now the PS sappers advancing to that VP, and will likely get gunned down. Yep, being focused down right there. And the Brit has casted GG. Oh no, that's the Panzer B player. And that is the end of replay. This is Anna Grade saying thank you for watching, and on to next replay.